Well, good morning there. I have been sitting and reading all this different stuff on the internet this morning, all these different places. And it's just ridiculous what this country has turned into. I don't know who the people think they are. I started out, I was reading something about that Thunberg gal. That little gal has been all into this climate change stuff and that so much. She's had her 6 months of fame or whatever. I don't care what it is. But she was up there and she invited some Palestinian and some Muslim or something up on the stage, and some guy jumped up and grabbed the microphone, says, "We came for a climate demonstration," or whatever. Not a political announcement. I don't know how people can be so dumb. They can live in this world, on this earth, and they can look around and they can see all these things happening, and they think there's this magical stuff. It's going to happen if we want it, if we sing about it, if we protest. Oh, it's going to happen. It's magic. Something, it don't work that way. It's just like, if you want to eat, you ought to work and get the food for yourself, or you're going to starve. And if you want to have, you're not entitled to a cotton-picking thing. There's nothing unless you go out and find it or do it or pick it up, or you go out and do whatever it takes to physically earn it. Be responsible for your own actions. Be responsible for yourself and do for yourself. Nobody else is going to do anything for you. See, the thing is, now I'm a religious man, and I've talked about there being two churches. One of them is the good church, one of them is the evil church. I don't care who you think the good God is. Everything they do is good for mankind, is good for the earth, is good for animals, the environment, everything. The other church, now this is that great Satan that the Muslims used to talk about now. When they were talking about when them two towers went down and all this kind of stuff, they used to talk about that. Well, people kind of forgot about that. Now, when you're thinking magically this is going to happen, it's that great Satan that's telling you, why, this is going to happen. It's going to be marvelous. You will have this utopia. You're going to have all these things. It don't work that way. I don't know how people can be so dumb. Now, if there's a great Satan, it's the corporations. It's the multinational, international corporations. There's no privilege for them. I can't see why. Well, in the United States especially, because that Constitution doesn't make it that way. If a guy and his wife go out here and they start a business, baking donuts, a corporation does not have an advantage under the law if you are believing in the Constitution of the United States of America and in the constitutions of the individual sovereign states. That's just not the way it works. Corporation is not a person. It does not have the rights of a person. I don't care what those activist judges that were appointed at one time in the past into SCOTUS, the Supreme Court of the United States, might have said. A corporation has no rights above and beyond. It has no rights equal to the rights of an individual. Okay? The taxes for that man and his wife in that little donut shop making their donuts should be exactly the same as the taxes for that corporation. There's no hiding the taxes, no hiding the profits, no claiming all this good stuff. Okay? It's just wrong. But you've had two criminal mobs known as the Democratic National Party and the Republican National Party that have got together over the last, 240 years, something like that, and made corporations kings. Go look at the corporation stuff that went on during and after the Civil War, when them southern states that seceded was their right because they joined together. They had the right to secede together or separately, individually. That was the Constitution. If I go down and join say I go join the firefighters union, the National Firefighters, whatever they got, and I'm a fireman in a paid professional city fire department somewhere. Okay, I pay my dues, I got my benefits of the union and this kind of stuff. Now, if I decide, hey, I'm not going to do that anymore, I'm going to go get this other job over here because it suits more with my way of life, my family and stuff, I can go. I don't have to pay the dues in the fire department anymore. I can just quit. I can go over and do this on my own. I lose that protection of that fire department and that, but nothing else. I lost that union. That union, I shed it. I shut it. I quit. Okay? That's exactly what South Carolina did because of the corrupt actions that was going on at the time. If you go read history and pay attention to what was going on, all that stuff, they made that Mason-Dixon line. They made that over there, that Kansas, whatever they called it, that started the thing about bloody Kansas. They had all that stuff going on about old John Brown, the abolitionist and everything. See, there's all kinds of stuff going on. Well, them Southerners. Now, that bunch of them Irishmen and Scotsmen and that were in the South, because they had places they could get to that they had their farms and things like that. They wasn't all that interested in slavery or nothing. No, they was interested in liberty, in individual rights, in freedom for them and their families from whatever some dictator might want to make them do. You see, this is all gone just screwy. I don't bow my knee to any man. That Joe Biden is not a king. He is not anything but an elected representative of 330 plus million legal citizens in the United States of America, the union that 50 individual sovereign states belong to. The agreement is amongst 50 equal individual parties. Got it? Well, don't seem the Supreme Court does. It's for certain that the Democratic Party and the Republican Party don't, because they are mobs that have criminal bosses pushing them around, telling them what to do. They got lieutenants out. If you look, I don't know, maybe they got a hitman. Be careful now what you say. They might send some hitman out. They're all both together, but they sure seem to argue. But they're both right there together. Okay. Well, you have a good day. Think about it. Why don't you read something? Critically think. Get a little bit of smarts instead of listening to all the stuff that people are telling you. Find out for yourself and decide. Do you want to be a free person? You want to be a slave? Well, that $33 trillion in debt has made you, your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, etc. down there, slaves. Look at the corporate stuff that Congress passed back during the Civil War, after the Civil War, all this other stuff. Check it out. May God bless you and have a good day.